Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I built an iPhone app using Cursor. The app is a simple fasting tracker. I know there are lots of videos online about Cursor, but most of them just show you at a high level how it works. For example, you type something and boom, there's the app. But in reality, you often have to make changes. You have to tweak the app to match your design and your features. That's what I will focus on today, showing you the entire process step by step. So, why am I building a fasting app? I started fasting as a part of my health routine, and I wanted a tracker to help me stay consistent. I tried a few apps in the App Store, but all of them asked for a subscription fee. I just wanted something simple, something free, so I might as well just build my own. Let's go. To write a fasting app, these are the 4 things you need to figure out. First, decide what features you want. For me, it's pretty simple. I want to track how many hours I have fasted each day, and I want to see how many days I've fasted this month. Second, think about how your app should look. I suggest checking out other apps on the App Store for inspirations. Third, you need a Mac. That's because building iOS apps requires Mac OS, so you can run tools like Xcode. Lastly, choose what language or framework you want to use. Even though this app is for iOS, I might publish it on Android later. So I'm going to use React Native. It lets me write down one code base for both platforms. Okay, now we have got that sorted out, let's get started. Alright, so before we start writing code, the easiest way to work with Cursor is to first analyze a reference app. In my case, I'm using an app called Zero, which is a popular fasting tracker. Now, when you open a reference app, just pay attention to 2 things. Number 1, what are the core functionalities you actually need? And number 2, what does the UI UX look like? And which parts do you want to reuse or simplify? So, looking at Zero, I realized that the app is actually very advanced and it's a bit complicated. But for me, I only need a few simple features. First, I want to be able to start and end a fast with a single button. Tap once to start, tap again to stop. Second, I want to track how many days in the current week I have fasted. Zero has a little 7-day bar on top. I like that idea and I want to reuse something like that. Third, I want to be able to change my fasting goals like 16 hours, 18 hours, whatever. I don't need anything fancy here, just a clean model where I can pick a number. And finally, on the Me page, I want to see a calendar view showing which days in the month I have fasted. That's it. No social features, no charts, no push notifications, just the basics. Once I'm clear on the features, I look at the UI style. Zero uses a really clean and intuitive design, and I like that. So when I write prompts for Cursor, I'll tell it to keep the design simple, clean, and consistent. Okay, let's continue writing the prompt, this time focusing on how the app should actually work in detail. For example, how many pages does the app have, what buttons are on each page, and what should happen when the user taps each button. By thinking through these interactions step by step, we can turn our app idea into clear, concrete tasks that Cursor can understand and start building. Once we have written the full prompt, we're ready to create a file called Tasks.md. This file is super important. It helps Cursor track progress one task at a time, and it also greatly reduces errors during development. Creating it is easy. Just take the detailed prompt you wrote and paste it into ChatGPT. Then simply ask, we're creating a tasks.md file for Cursor. Can you turn this into a checklist of tasks? This will give you a clean, structured list that Cursor can start working through. Once it's ready, save it as tasks.md in your project, and Cursor will recognize it automatically. Now that our tasks.md is ready, we can finally start building the app. It's really straightforward. Just go into Cursor, open up the AI pin, and type run all tasks from tasks.md. Cursor will go through each task one by one and start generating the code for you. And to make the things even better, let's drop in a few screenshots from our reference app to give Cursor more visual context. Okay, now let's run this. At this point, Cursor tried to initialize the project, but it stopped because the folder is not empty. It already has some files in it. It gives us 3 options. I choose option number 2 to create a new folder and initialize the app there. This is the safest choice. It keeps my existing files untouched and sets up a new React Native app. Okay, now the project has been generated. Let's continue. First, I'm going to move the Tasks.md file into the new folder that Cursor generated for us. Then I'll close the current project and open the new folder instead. This way, Cursor can keep tracking tasks inside the actual project. After the project was generated, I asked Cursor to run the app in the simulator, just to make sure everything worked before trying it on the real phone. A simulator is basically a virtual iPhone that runs on your computer. I asked Cursor, can you show me the steps to run this in the simulator? It walked me through the process, I followed the steps, and the project ran just fine. Alright, the app is now up and running, but as you can see, the look and feel are still pretty rough. It doesn't really match our reference app, and honestly, it's not something you want to share with your friends. Today, the tutorial was kinda long, so let's stop here. This video was all about getting the core functionalities ready, but in the next video, I'll show you how I use Cursor to take the app from this to this. Getting the app to look right isn't as simple as just telling AI, make it look better. That usually doesn't give you the results you want. So in the next video, I'll show you some simple tricks to clearly explain to Cursor what to tweak and how to get the UI looking exactly the way you want it.